Forest school makes me feel kind of happy and relaxed and calm. It's different from the classroom because everyone's just sitting down and doing work, but in the forest, well, the work is kind of fun.
I just really like nature, and I think it's just really fun to do all those things with my friends.
Forest School is, I suppose it's an inspirational process. It's a methodology to learning. It's a way of building relationship with the person, with yourself, with the people around you, and with the natural world. What are you today? Okay, go and say hello to the bluebells.
The purple isn't there anymore.
And so what's there instead?
It's dead.
No. What did you just say?
Seed pod.
It is the seed pod growing. And then it's going to make more bluebells. Oh, that was a nice jump.
I would encourage any teacher or principal to consider introducing it into their school in a small way first. We introduced it with one class only, and now we have 6 to 8 classes doing it every year. Forest School is one of these magical things that looks like it's completely unstructured, but there's a very deep basis of planning. There's a whole lot of risk assessment. You have to be certified.
There's a level 6 course if you want to train to become a Forest School leader that trains you and qualifies you to run Forest School sessions. Oisin, you're my next leader. So could you take 15 steps, please? It's child-led where possible, where appropriate. So it's this way of really inspiring learning and the desire to learn. What station have we arrived at?
The looking up station.
Looking up.
There's lots more leaves than there used to be.
There are lots more leaves than there used to be.
There's 1,000.
Whoa.
You know, you're not in a classroom with 4 walls around you. It makes you feel free in a way.
Whoa!
Oh!
The kids will just see it as they were having a great time, they were playing. But as we know as educators, play is how we learn best. Griffin, what are we calling this station?
The white oak station?
The White Flower Station or the White Bell Station.
We love it because it gives us that integrated approach to education. The entire curriculum is covered.
Look, that's what it's moving.
The language development that we see up here, the oral language, I've never come across a better way to teach oral language than have a child figure out want to explain and show what this is and why it's so amazing.
It's coming out of its chrysalis. What? We found a caterpillar. A caterpillar. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The maths comes up, we bring it in quite a natural way. Our art curriculum, where it's really process rather than product focused, so it takes away all that fear of getting something right. There is no wrong in nature.
So we might look at which plants are working really well. Sylvie, what's your best plant?
It was a buttercup.
A buttercup.
When you're doing all the crafts, the clay, the fabric and fibre, the natural found objects, all of that gives your sensory and motor skills.
Did you know children used to call this bread and butter? The new leaves of the hawthorn.
Geography and science are all covered with this, and with history we weave in all of this natural folklore and the Loganamnica, the Gaelga. I have a French name, Dent de Lion. Dent de Lion. In English, we say dandelion. 1, 2, 3.
Somebody see what took my nose.
I think it's a benefit in junior infants because it lets their imagination be free and stuff, and they just seem very happy when they're in the forest.
My son, I would say that he struggled in junior infants. I mean, I was at a point where I was so worried about him in school, how he was getting on. And I just noticed a huge difference in him when he started the Forest School sessions. And his time in the classroom then became a lot easier as well. He is so alive in the forest. He's so enthusiastic about learning, and he's himself.
I made it to the top!
I suppose it's really holistic, so every child gets what they need. And I've seen it for 10 years now, where one child might be really quiet in the class and they become a leader, and another child might need to be organising everybody else and they can organise a little group game, or that there's a lot of space for them to get their own needs met and a lot of trust for us to give them the space to explore what it is that they need. So they have a bit of an opportunity to be rather than just do.
Well, we played this game called Bat and Moth, and it was like just really fun, and a dog ate my sandwich and we held a funeral for it.
Even with some of the older class that you've been up with, that you think that some of that imaginative play would be gone because they're too cool. I think one of the great things about being in nature is when there's mud to jump in, when there's puddles to splash and when there's leaves to throw in the air, you can't help but be, you know, free and be a child.
They're exposed to risk, which I don't think children are now. They're delivered to school in a box, and they're living in a box, and they don't have the same freedom to get out and about. And I think forest school is definitely a benefit where children can experience being out and about. The little bit of responsibility, the maturity of being able to roam and come back to a base, having freedom. They were able to explore boundaries.
We talk about appropriate risk, and we help them to learn to risk assess and for them to be able to take appropriate risks. And they get the message then that, oh, I am trustworthy. So it's a really core thing to feel okay in this world and to feel safe in this world. Oh, no, using your hands if you need to, that's a really good idea, Cara, to keep yourself safe. Self-esteem and self-confidence is built by our ability to believe in ourselves. We're going to take a break from our play and have our sit spot. Can anybody explain what a sit spot is?
Find a quiet space where no one's around you, and then you sit down and you listen, or you look and you look at the trees. You have to stay quiet and you need to notice stuff.
I like sit spot because you can like reflect on what you did that session and like just be quiet and around nature.
The ability to not only sit still, but sit still and be in the moment. I definitely noticed the maturity that came along with that.
First of all, something that you noticed today. And then I want something you were grateful for today.
I noticed there were spores on the fern, and I also, what made me grateful was making the potion with George and Ben. I noticed the grass tickling and the breeze was soft.
Beautiful.
How quiet it was, and then I heard the birds. The bird that was like, ooh, ooh.
What was the best thing about today?
Making this.
Making that? What's that?
It's a slingshot.
How did you make it?
I just found a stick and put my bubble on it.
So where it is now, growing. It would be how I would say there's over 200, maybe 300 people trained in Ireland now. So the more people that we have trained, the more this type of work can be offered. It's where I have seen the biggest gains, and there's so many opportunities for you to understand them in a different way. And what I've found is that flows back into the classroom. It is utterly worth it. It's by far the best thing that I've ever done as a primary teacher.
I think kids in other schools would love forest school because it's just really fun and exciting to go out for a breath of fresh air once in a while.